welcome back to McLovin Garage. On today's episode, I want to show you my buddy Kyle's 1978 GMC pickup and my next project. All right, here's the truck. This is a 1978 GMC Sierra Classic, 3/4 ton. I bought this truck a couple years ago off the street in my local town. I paid $300 for it. It did run. It still runs, but at the time it did run. The owner thought that it maybe had a head gasket going out. It had some white smoke that he was concerned about. I drove it home. It was all disgusting, had a bunch of green moss and growth on it, typical of the Pacific Northwest. And I got it cleaned up. I put some new tires on it, which are still on it now. It had all of its hubcaps. And I worked on it. I fixed the fuel tank. It's got dual tanks, and so it needed the lines fixed. The rubber lines, they were corroded and gross. But look at this thing. $300 for this old truck. It didn't have the canopy. I worked on it for a while, and my buddy Kyle was interested in it. This was now probably a couple years ago. And so I put new tires on it. I cleaned it up. I went through it a little bit, did some maintenance on it. I think I did do a tune-up even on it. He bought it for me. I think I sold it to him for $1,200 or $1,500, super cheap. Essentially paid for the wheels and tires, or the tires. Oh yeah, I had the wheels powder coated too, back to white. Sold it to him. He then took the 350 out of it, put a brand new crate 350 in it, had some other work done. He put a camper on it, and he drove it all the way down to Southern California several times with a camper. He was going to college down there in Southern California. Had a camper on it, used it as his commuter back and forth to California on his breaks and during the summer, and had a great time with it. It showed up at my place a couple months ago because he wanted to do a Sniper EFI kit on it. We had talked about it, some pros and cons, you know, the easy start. He had had trouble with the Edelbrock carb that was on it. It sat for a while when he was gone on a trip and gummed up the carb, and it never really wanted to run right after that. And so it came to my place because he wanted a Sniper EFI kit on it. The more we talked about it and the more we've seen the Sniper EFI, we decided that maybe we just want to go back to a carburetor. So I've got that out right now getting rebuilt. And so the carb's getting rebuilt, and we decided, in order not to lose one of the fuel tanks, not have a bunch of extra wiring, keep it simple, we're going to go back to a carburetor. So it's here because I need to change the intake. The intake manifold has a stripped out bolt where the carburetor mounts, so we're going to put a brand new Edelbrock intake on it, and then I'm going to put the rebuilt Edelbrock carb on it. Check the timing. I need to put the fuel pump back on. You can see right here it's sitting in the center console. So that needs to go back on it. But before I do that, I just wanted to show you the truck because it's a really neat truck for the era. These square bodies are great. This one's kind of unique because it's a little more high option than some of them. One thing you'll note is, well, it's got a tilt steering wheel. Let me tilt this out of the way, but it does have the tilt steering wheel. Has a factory tack in the dash. There's not a lot of these that have that. Usually that's the fuel gauge. Instead, the fuel gauge is up here. Actually, it's right there. Volts, oil pressure, temp. It's got some great old man switches. Look at this, the dome light, the horn, fog light switch. It's got an aftermarket amp gauge, camper. It's got an aftermarket delayed wiper control down there. Just a neat old truck. The seat's in pretty decent shape. No headliner, but look at the trim on the door panels. It's got some really neat kind of old school trim on there. It does have a little bit of rust. The floor here is not great. Now I'm gonna open the hood for you. Oh, let's get that out of there. Let's open the hood. All right, so here's underneath the hood. It's got this, I don't even know what intake. Oh, it does have an Edelbrock. So it's got an Edelbrock intake on it. It had an Edelbrock carb. One of these bolt holes here is stripped, actually maybe right back there, I think, if you look at it. And so he wants me to take this intake off and put a new one on for him. I believe, I don't know, I'm probably gonna have to pull the distributor out, so I'm gonna have to check the timing. It does have a newer or a rebuilt Turbo 400 transmission by AMCO. Transmission shifts really well. It was a factory cruise control truck, which you don't see much. It does have power brakes. It is a power steering machine. He put a set of headers on it, so it's got a set of headers. It does have dual exhaust, which sounds really good. And actually, you know what? I take that back. It has I think it's 2-in-1 maybe. Am I wrong? Yeah, I think it's 2-in-1 exhaust. My mistake. But yeah, headers. Motor has low miles, and he just needs me to put it back together. So that's kind of on my list. But pretty good looking truck overall. It does have, like I said, it does have some rust. Oh, look at that. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. All the moss. Probably should work on my roof up there too with all the moss. Good reminder. But it's got an awesome look. I love these old man fog lights. I don't think those work. That's something that I'd love to make work because I think they look sweet. Love the two-tone green paint. Camper Special, you get the TP. I don't know if you can do that anymore, can you? 8,200 gross vehicle weight. All right, let's look at this. This is always cool to see in the old Chevys. I appreciate they do this. Came with sliding rear window, speed and cruise control, automatic transmission, auxiliary fuel tank, power steering, AM push button radio, chromed front bumper, Silverado equipment package, deluxe two-tone paint, soft ray tinted glass, exterior, something about the mirrors, heavy duty power brakes, V8 engine, it's a 350, comfort tilt steering wheel, tachometer, that's the U16, that's the one I was talking about. And then it came as a Camper Special package, and it looks like AMCO worked on it back in 2014, 814 and 1014. This is ideal here. But yeah, just a good old truck. This side's actually pretty good. You don't see a bunch of rust in this rocker, so that's not a big problem. I gave him the canopy. This came on my Dodge truck that I just got, my 96. If you haven't seen that video, it's back just a little ways in my videos, couple back. I really like this trim on the back bumper with the the tailgate with the GMC. Oh, I also have something else I'm going to put on it for him. So I got this hitch for my Suburban. I had it on there. It actually hung too low because the Suburban's lowered. So I took it off. It's actually for a square body. So I was going to put that on so he's got an actual receiver hitch. The bed's in actually pretty darn good shape. It's got that rubber floor mat, but there's still a lot of green paint left in there. Canopy's in decent shape. It's not all worn out either, which is nice. But anyway, this is going to be my next project in the shop. So put down in the comments what you think of the old square bodies, if that's a truck you like. It's a truck I know I like. And like I said, I bought it initially. Oh, I'm going to say hi to the puppies. Hi, Bo. Hi, Copper. Hi, Copper. Hi, guys. Hey, buddy. How you doing, mister? How you doing, mister? Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for saying hi. You doing all right? Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Thank you. Let go. So if this is your truck, what would you do with it? It's pretty basic, pretty standard, actually, pretty stock. Oh, I remember now why I changed the wheels. It had 16.5s on it. All the Camper Specials in that time period came with 16.5-inch wheels over there. And so I found a set of 16s. Actually, a friend of mine had a full set, and so they were black, and I thought the white would look better against the green, and so I had them powder coated white, and then I had the factory set of hubcaps, so we put those on it. But yeah, so 350. It's got headers with a 2-into-1 exhaust. I'll show you where that exhaust comes out at, because I actually like the way it got ran. It's a big 3-inch pipe over here. She needs to be cleaned up again, but yeah, it sounds really good. Once I get it, I'm gonna plan on videoing, working on it. Once I get it running again, I'll show you, or I'll fire it up and we'll listen to it run. And yeah, that's the rig. It's kind of a cold, wet. It's been miserably wet here in Oregon this week, and so this is just want to get out and kind of show this to you. I'm not going to move it just yet. My shop, I've got the Fury wagon in right now. But that'll be the next one. So put in the comments what you think of it, what you would do with it if it was yours. If you have any suggestions for me on it, or tips or tricks for the manifold install or the carb install. Still waiting on the carb to come back from getting rebuilt. That should be here any day. And yeah, it's the next one on the list. So appreciate you watching. Thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe to the channel. Almost to 4,000 subs. I'd love to get to 5,000 here soon. And once again, appreciate you being here. Have a great day. Take care.